seen these 7 stages, right? So those 7 stages, generally we are going with SPRO and the navigation. SPRO, GRC, access control, workflow for access control, maintain MSMP workflows. So there is some issue, but because the default browser is Internet Explorer still, but Internet Explorer was not supporting. So I'm just, I have already pressed it. So I'm just using the same link. We will get this screen through navigation, but the same structure we will get with transaction code grfnmw underscore configure underscore wd. This is the same transaction. Even we can use the transaction code. With this transaction code also, we will get the same screen. So I want to share that. Can I type in the chat? So did you get the ping? I'm not able to see. You got it? Okay. Yes, yes. MW underscore. So similarly, there is another transaction. This is kind of consultant level. So grfnmw underscore configure underscore wd. This is the same transaction. Once we have executed, and it will open the web page like what we are generally we will configure and we will be able to see. So now there is another transaction code grfnmw underscore configure. This is a WebDyno Pro. This is SPRO configuration only, but this is completely at expert level. So we will get all the stages, same configuration, but we will get in expert mode. So generally this particular screen we will not use because it's kind of tough. We need to understand while seeing the screen and mapping all the data, but we need to we will use this transaction for some other purpose. We'll let you know, but make sure that I want to convey, because if you read any articles or any blogs or anything, they will refer expert mode. There is a possible with a transaction code. So this particular screen, so that you won't confuse this is a kind of a pro level settings, and this is WebDyno Pro setting. Nothing apart from that. There is no change. Even we can configure if we are expert, then we can configure. We can select and we will do whatever the workflow configuration in this particular screen as well. But generally we won't use this. So I just want to cover those transactions. Okay, now we will go to the Msmp scenario. Okay, right now I don't have time to maintain the complete details, but I'll try to maintain what is the scenario, and I'll try to provide some test by tomorrow, if not maybe next week. But the scenario is current scenario MSMP, assuming the user submits the request. The first stage would be manager, second stage would be role owner, and third stage would be security. And I just enter the scope of the details. The manager do not require risk analysis. He will just approve. He will not required to perform the risk analysis. This is a kind of a scenario where we can discuss with the business, and we will develop the business use case scenario. But I'll just on a high level, I have developed this scenarios for to understand better. Then probably we have a different flow charts. We'll develop on how to convert this into a real business case. But as of now, we will go with this basic template, but we'll try to share some of the scenarios in different diagrams, like conditions, everything, flow charts, kind of a flow charts. We'll try to develop for next week. But the first stage, risk analysis is not required, and the requirement for email notifications. So I just mentioned manager should receive the email notification whenever the request reject the event. User and requester will get the notification. So this is the only basic stage level settings. And the second, role owner. So risk analysis is mandatory, and currently I have not set up any mitigation setup in the system. So we will maintain the approve despite of risk. And email notifications. See, this is a basic common. Whenever reject, sometimes requester and user may not be the same. On behalf of user, somebody has request the system access. So whenever the request is rejected, ideally the notification should send to both user and requester. And similarly, the last stage would be security, and risk analysis is mandatory and approved despite of a risk. And also email notifications. Once we will all the three levels of approvals, then the request will goes to provisioning in respective system, whatever the role which we have selected. Okay, but right now I have adopted this scenario in the system from start. We will discuss starting from second scenario, but I will just submit the request and will complete the approvals, but will check from Msmp scenario 2. I will configure in the system live, because we got the system, and I'm not sure whether it is working or not. That's why I have configured in the system. So the same thing, I think notifications are not configured. So I have selected process global settings, same initiator. I have selected the standard initiator. Everything is standard, so there is no custom. In the fifth stage, since we are doing standard workflow, so I have selected the standard path and the three stages: manager, role owner, and security. And I have selected the 001. There is no difference, like a 10 number difference. I have yes, 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 yes. Some roles I have created, and I have maintained the role owner. But I will do admin approval. From second scenario onwards, we'll try to configure in the system. For testing purpose, I have done a couple system is working or not. So I think notifications I have not maintained. So just reject and no risk analysis is not mandatory for a manager stage. And notifications I have not included. So generally we need work inbox item. So I'm using the standard templates. Whenever the event new work item and template ID is JRC work item, and recipient would be current approvers. Whatever the define a particular agent. If suppose I have maintained admin as my approver, then admin will receive the request. If my manager is admin 1, then he will receive the approve. So that is the reason I have not mentioned particular approver. Yes, yes, it should be required. See, whenever, as soon as you have submitted the request, okay, the process global settings has only two notifications: submit and close, right? Submit and close. But ideally, once we have submitted request, manager should get the notification, right? So the current approvers, and also we will, whenever the request got rejected, so ideally it should goes to requester and as well as user as well. Sometimes um, the requester and user may not be the same. Ha ha ha. Yeah, yeah. Okay. And also, if you want the request forwarded or request escalated, we can keep any of the things. It's not a big deal, but as per main, we just discuss on high level. But there is also possibility, even if a manager for want to forward the request, then the other approver should get notifications. We have to select forward event. So right now I have selected 3. Now the second stage, okay. So I'm changing. Yes, risk analysis is mandatory. Approved is part of risk. So only I'm going with very standard and nothing. I'm not adding any flavors or toughest configuration. I'm just going with a very basic level configuration. In notifications, we must maintain the new work item and also rejected. Whenever the request is rejected, ideally it should go to user. So this is my second stage. Now modify task settings. I don't require, but I required approved despite of risk, because in case any risks, I don't have a current mitigation setup. I have not set up. So it should be approved, even though it is a risk. If we want, we can make it as security stage. So I'm just make sure that the risk analysis is mandatory, but I want this setting approved despite of risk. So right now, so why am we will always make a habit to do the notification settings, even when you are configuring a personal laptop also for a practice. So as soon as completed, then since we have a default initiator and default ruled result, there is no change. We are just configuring the standard. You will see the difference in the next scenario. Just wait for some while. So MSN path new version generated. So as soon as my workflow has configured, then to test the workflow, so access management, access request. So testing, okay, new account, I'm selecting other. Since I don't have any data source, so test new, so basis. I think I have selected only few roles. Okay, I've selected this role. Technical role, dummy roles. See, you will get the complete details. I've selected couple of roles. Yes. So this role owner, okay, role owner. I will go with okay, two roles, no issue because role owner is okay. Yeah, Manpreet, you have a question? I've selected the roles. Okay, I'm just selecting admin. I don't want to keep my okay. 1 minute, admin. 1 minute, 1 minute. I'm just doing because data source configuration which we have discussed that if we integrate any LDAP or any other details like a portal or any source of information that automatically as soon as we have selected the user that will populate the details. So I will always keep something. Okay, I just filled up mandatory fields. Okay, now as per our configuration. Okay. Okay, this is a three step. First, I have maintained. First, it has to goes to admin. First stage. Second, it has to goes to role owner, the person who is maintained in the role owner. Third, it has to goes to access control owners. I think admin only, admin and other user. Because since I have selected the security, security lead. Yeah, two persons. So it has to goes to this person as per our configuring workflow. Manager, it is coming from data source, but right now we have selected admin and role owner. The owner it is maintained in the role during the role import. And third one is the security, which is identified as security agent is maintained in the access control owners. I'm stopping here as somebody has question. Manpreet, you have question. You're saying something. Someone. I think yeah. Hmm. Okay. The environment, whatever the system here that it is maintained, it doesn't make any. Okay. Right now, I think your setup has business role. Might be it will comes all by default. Okay, in your customer environment. Only for business roles it is giving all. You won't get the system empty. But if it is a single or composite roles, whenever the status in the connector configurations you have maintained either a development, quality, sorry, testing or production, the same environment will be displayed here. No, no, no. No, the roles are coming from DRM. Okay. This is the setting. So whatever the details which you have maintained, that details will be populated here. The provision. If it is a business role, then the system is empty. you will find all. If you have selected a business role, maybe development or production, you will get an error. Ideally, it should be all. No, no, no. This is not about UP change. This is by default logic. If we have selected business, then automatically it will comes all. That is a standard program designing, because business roles is irrespective of systems. Ideally, it is a landscape role, we can say. Okay. Now, yeah, I'm submitting the request. Why it is yeah, yeah, it will create. It will. Somebody has changed change the parameter in between. Yeah, so we cannot believe because before only I have submitted in between past 2 hours. Somebody has changed the parameter. Okay, so it is checking 2051 user validation. Hmm, 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 hmm. But we need to check the settings, that one, and as well as user provisioning also. No, 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 no. No, we'll discuss later, because right now I don't want to go deviate from this. Okay, as soon as we submitted the request, okay, so okay, I will close this. So access management and search request. As a GRC consultant, you might use this for mostly for troubleshooting the request status. What is the request number and where you have to check the search. Yeah. So as soon as see, based on this process ID, since we are not touching the other process right now, we are checking the access request approval. That is by default. So we'll just search. Or still, if you have any like, since in the customer environment there might be so many per day requests, so instead of that, you have a facility created date on a particular date today. You can select request, it will be displayed. Or you want to select in between, maybe yesterday and today. So like this, you can select the date range, and maybe the manager ID or whatever the information. You will try to use this filters, and you will try to get the details. Now, since this is our request, as soon as the request and it is instance pending. So first what we will do, either we will go to audit log to get the complete information. If not, we will check the instance status for currently the request with whom it is pending. As soon as we click on the instance status, it will show the approver, admin. So that is what we have maintained in the manager in general. No, because the problem is why I have not selected. I am approving through admin. So that is the reason manager I am planning to set up. But I will copy one request. I will show, because with my ID I cannot approve the request. Okay, I want to approve the complete scenario, and once that is provision, then probably I will show with another request, copy of this request. Okay. I will maintain and I will go to. That is the reason I have not selected Subbarao name. I have selected admin. Notification. So see, this is a test system, na. So we won't get notifications because the Scott was not configured for the domain name, right? So currently it won't. I don't think so. Okay. For your purpose, I will do one thing. We'll see. No, I have maintained one approver, right? So we'll see. I have maintained email. No, generally Scott should be configured properly. So that Scott and Scott settings and domain settings, everything should be configured. Then only will get the notifications. But yeah, okay. So this is admin. It is pending with the admin. Now what I will do, we have in general, but don't do this kind of uh, tasks in production, sorry, customer environment. But for testing purpose, I am approving this request in the administration because since we have access and on behalf of without any approval or anything, maybe you can forward this request to another approver, but don't approve with admin. Currently, what we are doing in the practice. Okay, so I have selected the path, default path. Okay, now I'm able to see. Mhm, mhm. No, no, no. That is the reason I'm saying. Okay, you all are asking 1 minute. I don't know whether this user. Okay, I will submit. I will do copy of a request. I will show work inbox later. Okay, just give me a minute because if I'll maintain my name, I cannot approve and the complete approval process will not complete. Just wait for a while. So as soon as the request received, the approver will verify the manager will verify the roles and system. Then I'm just selecting submit. It is asking enter the notes approval or rejection. Okay. Now the scope of the settings, approval level or reject level request. Oh, sorry. Why it is asking? Oh, as admin it is asking. For normal it won't ask. On behalf of other on behalf of admin I am approving. So it is asking comments. But generally it we must no that is UP setting. Ah, yes. That is UP control, end user personalization. So as soon as I will approve the request, the stage has completed. Mhm. I'll tell you. That is the reason I'm saying the UP settings is control. Okay, now it is coming to role owner. So role owner also, but role owner has two. One approval. Uh, I have not selected the. No, 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 no. I don't think so. It will pop up because I have not selected RT configuration changes. Okay. Okay. Risk analysis is mandatory. It is asking. No, we have set it. No, but why that is not working? I don't know whether it has. I'm checking action level. No, that is about. No, it is not being populated because I have not set the parameter. Risk analysis global parameter. By default, it will select. So even though it is a risk, we won't mitigate. Okay, we'll just click on submit. No, because this is a system new and it has not maintained the parameter. That is the reason it is not populated. Because I need to still today only, yesterday only we have received system. So I did a couple of testings, but I have not set it up. It is not make it ready. Yes. Hmm. No, 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 no. No. Default will. No, 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 no. The functionality will work to get the pop up. No, the functionality is really working, right? That is not a problem. 1 minute. Default rules. Yeah, yeah, that is by default it is set. Okay, now we'll move to. So we have not checked this state, instance status. Yeah, right now it is with security. Two persons, we and risk owner. Those two are security. So since again we need to give comments mandatory. So I'll quickly update the comments. Now risk analysis is mandatory. Now if you see the global, as soon as we set the parameter, it is being populated. So even though risks are coming up, but we have a set for, oh sorry, why the risk is not coming? 1 minute. Let me just go. We got the risk right before. Might be no, no. I think there is another rule set. Okay, let me. The problem is that I think it is coming by default. It is taking the first one demo. Okay, this is completed. Action. So once the complete levels of approvals are completed, so the first stage admin and the second stage on behalf of everyone, right? Role owner, but administrator will approve the request. And similarly, third stage, you can check the complete audit log and whom it is pending and when it was the complete approvals are completed. The user is created in the ECC 800. This is ECC. So the user, and you will be able to see the RFC user. It is maintained the integration and it is created and it has assigned the roles, whatever we have selected with the time stamp. So I need to work on a couple of things. The rule set generation, everything. I will check. Yeah, somebody has asked a question. Mhm. One minute. Yeah. Okay. Meaning? Mhm. No, you cannot get it that one, that information. No, we can as soon as we will get the path and what stage and who is the approver. No, 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 no. That is internal logic. Mhm, mhm. No, no, this is not like a web service or IDM kind of thing. It will automatically provision. I think last week we discussed one of the settings, maintain provisioning. Yeah. Mhm, mhm. That I will show one scenario. Wait. So this is just only basic plain because um, I have not set it up. I will set it up now. But I want to show one scenario. Okay. Right now you have asked one question, right? For you, I will show one scenario. Okay. Let me. I'll create on one more request. Okay. This that was we discussed. Okay. Uh, okay. We will use the copy of request. Okay. We have an option copy of request. Somebody's reference. We will do the copy of request. Right now we will use this scenario, but right now I'm changing to my ID so that we will uh, get the notification working box. That also we'll see. I'm not changing anything. I just want to show the working box and okay. For that I need to create another scene. Okay. Right now, test one. As soon as the user ID changes, then it will ask the complete details. Just I'm using the same email ID. Next. So testing new one. Shrikant, you have to wait for another thing for one more scenario. The request number 6. Okay, the request submitted, and now request needs to go to manager, right? Manager is Subbarao. Now the request comes to Subbarao. So once the request comes to manager, generally manager will get the working box like this. So we have approved admin, but that will not work in our natural uh, customer environment. Okay. No, no, no. You remember PFTC, SWDD, PFTC, there are some tasks which we have configured. Okay. That is not settings. Like a couple of things that anyway we will discuss on troubleshooting. We will split the complete request, okay, in couple of phases. We'll discuss probably Msmp scenarios once completed, probably one session complete troubleshooting. There, mm, I'll just give overview, not the complete thing. There, the request is submitted, the first. So request submitted, then it has to goes to approval, right? So anything, any approval. Then in between, notification. We have to check notification. But this is completely logical scenario, notification, because we don't have setup. But where we have to check like SOST emails, couple of validations. Then once this is completed, then we will go to system, backend system or plugin system. So we have to divide the complete scenario, whether the request submission problem. Once we have submitted the request, agent was not identified, approval, it was not triggered to approval. It is triggered approval but not received any notification. Request submitted, notifications are not went to approval. Then each stage of level settings, there the task settings or notification settings are problem. We need to discuss. Then once everything completed, plugin system, the user is not created. The roles are not user created, but roles are not assigned. So like this, we will split the request into multiple items. Then we'll start working on the troubleshooting. This is one complete session. I have planned 2 hours or maybe one hour 30 minutes. We will discuss this in a separate. Okay. Right now, our objective is first whether we will receive the request in the working box. In general, company environment, the request will be approved in this fashion, not what we did for admin, and don't use that option in your customer environments. Okay, we got the request. Once we will approve, but I don't think so system will allow this, because user and approver are different. Okay. We can do that. No? That's why I have created a couple of things, right? Admin, and I want to make sure different users, so that we can check the flow. Okay. Yes. Now again, I'll this is one scenario, whether the work inbox request it is coming or not. Now the another scenario, Srikanth has asked if what will happen if the approver will not found or anything. Okay, what actions we have to take. Since we have already configured, so probably we will, no, one minute. We need to create a security agent. So I'm not selecting manager. Okay, I'm not maintained any approver. So this is auto provisioning failure. You remember the auto provisioning failure. Sorry, approver not found. The scenario is approver not found. Shikant, you have the same question, right? If something was not working, what we have to do? So since manager is not a mandatory field, manager is not mandatory field. So request, as soon as the request is submitted, okay, since you know the request, as soon as the request submitted, automatically it should be, it should not identify the manager, so it is pending, but it will not identify the owners. So the request got submitted 7th, request submitted, decision pending. It cannot identify any approvers. No agent found, cancelling path 001 request manager. Now I think on particular stage it is showing. Shrikant, this is even new to me. 001, because I never seen this. Because why? Because as soon as this kind of situations, what we will do, we will configure the stage. Okay, to deal with these kind of situations, what we will do, no, I'm not. Mm, I purposefully have not done that before, because see, if I will configure everything, then there is no point in the class, right? So what we will do in general in the companies, Hello.